Here's your it's Halloween, baby.
Ta-da!
So creative.
Oh, wait. Man, I just been hitting it up. Let's see. Oh shoot. Wait. Here it is. My loop deck just quit. Just quit on me. Let's recover that. But look at that. Tesla hitting it. Not only that, look at that. I don't know. I was looking for a long. At this point, I'm still looking for that FOR. I'm still not within a long on Ethereum. I got a couple of long setups. I know that might be crazy, but I'm looking for that bounce out of a big dump. Yesterday, well, let me get started with here. Remember when I draw this box and I was saying, hey, you know what? We have a little bit of a support here. I believe that we should be having that little range, and then on that range, we could be having maybe the sweep of the lows. The same thing that you were trading on the what was it, on the 15 minutes, a little bit before,
Yeah.
or I don't know where was it. I don't quite remember what was it. Oh yeah, exactly here. Where's my arrows? Exactly. No, it wasn't here. Where was it? Was it this one? No. Or was it this one? I don't quite remember. Well, whatever, right? But the point is that I was looking for the range to play out within these areas, and what happened? It did not care and start playing out up here. So regardless of that, back into the 4 hours, we're now had that bull flag with liquidity to this, with swipe to the downside, entering within my blue box. That for me, that's a entry zone. As long as we have, oh, I moved it, FOR, flip of the ribbon. So I'm expecting a little bit of a flip of the ribbon. Maybe my first entry, maybe we can get here at 69,600. But my first entry was located between this area. Did I execute it? Not just yet, waiting for that FOR. But there are a couple of other things that have been just ringing all across the day. For example, Litecoin. Litecoin, again, looking for this area of support, did not play it out because we did not have flip of the ribbon. My next flip of the ribbon is going to be right down here at some support. Remember, I don't think that we're going to be holding here. The one that is really good at, oh, there we go. That, by the way, I did enter. So, guys, I enter on NVIDIA. Right here, coming back down here, closing. Hopefully, I do not get wrecked in here because we don't have just yet the flip of the ribbon, but I am using it as a leading indicator. TRX, nice, playing on nicely. Break out of this pattern here. This bull flag. This was a little hard here for me because I was having this candle in here, and man, it's just the FOMO, right? And then break back up here, got to the target right here, overshoot a little bit, right? And now we're having an engulfing candle. This engulf, I have not yet shorting TRX. I'm waiting for this engulfing candle to close as an engulfing candle, and then I'm gonna be looking for an early possible flip of the ribbon at 0.16, or better yet, at 0.1647. The point here it is that this is plan A and this is plan B, but plan B could be happening first or earlier than plan B. So we'll see. And finally, where are we? TRX, Ethereum. All right, oh yeah, that's where I started. Ethereum, basically plan A and then plan B all the way down here. We'll see how that plays out. Whether in most of the cases for flip of the ribbon. I also see Luke in the house. Luke, what's up, buddy? Please let me know. Remind me, I did told you that today we're gonna be seeing a couple of tricks. I don't remember what. Give me a quick reminder on the side chat, and I'll make sure to show you what I promised. Other than that, what are you having on your charts, Alex? And Trading Tuition, what's up, brother?
For me right now, yeah. I mean, I'm looking for a swing long, trying to see where to build a position. So for me, I'm really looking at the 382 coming in right now, so I can take a look at that. I'm super sick. I've been sick like the last 3 days, so I'm trying to hold it together, Trying to hold it together. So right now, looking at this, we got a macro 382 coming up in here. So this is one of my key areas that I gave you guys yesterday. So as you can see, we have the retest to previous highs in here at 69,300. So I'm looking to scale into a potential swing trade here. So I have I have taken a nibble, a little nibble of a position, probably quarter, not even a quarter of position, just to get in. But I'm looking for something along these lines here. Like this is the idea, but this can be brought down quite dramatically down to this level if need be. But right now we have a nice trend line coming in here. Might look for a little bit of a bounce 382 level. So if I'm going from swing low to swing high, we can see our uh, our 382 is coming in here quite nicely. Let me get rid of that and get rid of that. So our 382 is quite nicely coming in here. We also have, uh, we had a bounce off the 382 from our last run up, which was here. So that was a nice bounce. Can we get it? It's typically an aggressive bounce, right? So if we do trickle down, I can look to add into here. I'd be looking to add mainly around the retest of previous highs if we're going to bounce, okay? I'm not getting overly bullish, but that's kind of the idea right now. I've started this position. I'm not fully allocated. I still have a lot of room to play with, okay? Looking to go like build up like $100,000 position to try and get long here. So we'll see how that goes. But that's kind of the plan right now. We'll see how that works. Then with this morning, I was absolutely wrong this morning, which is okay. It's okay to be wrong as long as you manage your risk and you have a winning strategy. So right now, uh, I took an L. I went long this morning off of mitigation of the low, and for me, I kind of I kind of went I got at this a little bit early. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's like, what were you thinking, Alex? Right? Uh, so I was looking down here for the mitigation of this low and then a V-shaped recovery. I front ran it. I was live, and for me it was just I rushed the trade. Right? For me, I want to see confirmed break of structure. So what happened here? I was looking for this. I got knocked out. Uh, kind of like this. Okay, and I took half a position of a loss, so I lost $150. Right, not a bad loss for me, but at least I didn't go full position size. Then I would have lost like 300. But just kept trickling down, right? I was watching volume, and volume really tricked me here. It didn't give me the full push I would have wanted. If I'm on my chart prime scalp here, for me, I do like volume, and I do like how it tends to work. So looking at this right here. Ugh. I
Oh, see.
apologize. I am a bit sick. I am sick, so I have to sleep on the couch too because I have a newborn son and can't be getting him sick. So
Oh, I
what
shared with
happened
you
here?
a an ancient solution for the flu in the comments. Take a look at it.
Oh my god, you're gross. I love you. Here, I'll share mine too. If you ever want me to help fix your Halo problem, I got
Oh
I got
man,
the solution.
dude, I've been trash talking to catch your attention, but you're just so focused on it. I'm just sitting at the back of a classroom throwing paper balls. Sorry, my friend. Sorry. No, but sorry to interrupt. What you were saying
150.
that, yeah.
I typically risk 300 to make 900. That's how I trade. Just to answer digital, but half a position size would be 150. Time for a booster. I'm unvaccinated, bro. So get at me. I'm a pure blood. So do whatever you want. I'll be okay. Looking for a long on BNB, waiting for an entry on 1 inch TIA and whiff. Okay, and then OC talking shit. I love it. I love it. I gave Tio, we did give a long in our Discord, and we did give along on Sui on our Discord, and both of them are playing out quite nicely right now. Look at this. I actually have to let them know that
Nice.
TP1 is almost being hit. Key levels of support with Tia. I mean, you wait and then it bangs. Look at this thing, absolute banger. Already up like, what is it, 2% almost? Wow, yeah, already up 2%. So this was given in my Discord actually, like literally as we came down here. So hopefully some people took that. And look, Bitcoin's trying to break out right now. So what are we looking for? Breakout retest, right? Breakout retest continuation, but for me right now, it's a bit of patience. Took the L this morning, pretty cheap loss, right? And now you can reset. You're getting multiple bullish divergences here on the smaller term time frames. The 382 bounce levels down here at 70,300-ish area. So that doesn't mean we're out of the woods just yet. But whenever price does this waterfall kind of thing where it rolls over, either you're looking for a V-shaped recovery or you're looking for structure to be formed before you really fire off this long. Okay, unless you're coming down into like a very critical area, you want to wait. And I didn't wait this morning and I paid the price, right? So I mean, we manage risk on so that we can take losses like this and then take a win and mitigate that quite quickly. So then after I took that loss, the live stream ended here, and then I took the short here all the way back down to here. Then I entered in a swing long. So I have scalped my way back into profits this morning, because once you have the skills, you're able to identify, hey, man, we're looking for a continuation here until I see proven structure. Now I see proven structure. I'm not looking to go long or to go short here anymore. I'm looking for a possible push up and then a retracement down if we're going to get anything. But I would look for a revisit of previous lows. Okay, that coming in right around 71,600. So this is the area. Let's get rid of that. This is the area where I'd definitely be looking for a retracement back to before continuing down if it continues down. Okay, that's an if. Okay, always being sure to really understand where the risk is at. You can see obviously our quantum reactors coming down as well. So something to watch, but looking for bottoming structure in here. You can see volume dying out as well on this lower low. So this is suggesting that, hey, there's no more, there's going to take, it's going to take strength to push this price down. And if we're looking at anything like the Dixie, it has broken structure. So I'm looking for this thing to continue to roll over, which is bullish. The S&P, look at the massive wick we got down for the S&P. Not only did we gap down, okay, but we rolled right over. So typically rolling over, this is good, grabbing some liquidity here. We can look for a pushback if this is to continue. And it happened across the board, okay? It happened on the NASDAQ as well, losing key support and pushing back down, really sweeping the lows here, okay? So this is actually healthy in my opinion because there is still quite a bit of liquidity down here for the NASDAQ to grab. Same with the Russell. The Russell is rolling over as well. So just keeping our eyes on the prize. As long as this low down here on the Russell stays intact, I remain quite bullish. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. But going through all of this stuff, we can simply see that the S&P absolutely took a beating today, and I do believe that's off of the data this morning, CME and stuff like that. I believe didn't Apple have earnings today? So this might be a buy the dip opportunity. So keep your eyes on the prize. I am still bullish. This is not something where we panic over. It's something where we need to look at as an opportunity, and that's kind of where I'm at.
Awesome, awesome. So a little bit of a fun thing here for the guys that are watching the recording, it is that I never show the comments on the recording. So guys, if you want to be part of the fun, make sure to join the live classes. We trash talk a lot, and man, it just makes it so much more interesting. So the thing I'm looking at a couple of things here. Retracement. I was expecting that retracement a little bit earlier, right? Or at least a little range for the continuation and retracement, right? Based on the goose cat that I was looking at the Bitcoin, and then also based on the blue box, or let's just share it. I think it's gonna be easier, right? We can see my previews. Where is it? Come on. My previous analysis. on what I was expecting. I think now it's playing out, right? At this point, I was expecting because of this resistance here. Let me just also clean out my charts. Uh, to have this previous range but down here, all right? Why? Because we have not only a resistance, but also because of what economy is being doing. Guys, economy or at least investments do not like unknown, right? And what are we approaching to other than Christmas, right? I mean, elections. U.S. elections. Alex, yesterday, all right, I see a lot. I need to cover my back when you're looking down to your keyboard. So the point is, you were talking yesterday on the Piper Academy a little bit about politics, right? About the GDP of Canada and something around those lines. I want to give you guys a little bit of a I don't know warning per se of what's happening here in Mexico, and this is for you guys that are in the United States and just take things like slowly. Yesterday, 5 out of 8, guys, this is important. 5 out of 8 Supreme Court members, they renounced their charge. We have no Supreme Court. There is no Supreme Court in Mexico. There is none. Just let that sink in.
It's
All right.
corruption.
Yeah, and that is pressure from one power to another, right? Because that's why we have three kinds of powers. So they're being twisting things to make it seem that they are the bad guys. When the new party in place is just making it seem like the rules have changed when the rules are the same, but they're making it, they're twisting it, right? All right. The thing is, elections are coming. Guys, you need to take this seriously. I'm not going to be telling you what to vote or for who to vote, but make a background check, all right? Be that boyfriend slash girlfriend, toxic boyfriend or girlfriend that does run background checks, all right? I mean, you need to do that. Why? Because it doesn't matter if your candidate wins. Once they take office, that's when they become part of the public scrutiny. You need to criticize them and look at their mistakes, right? That's where when they become when they get to the office. Do not make the mistake or just, all right, my candidate won. I'm just going to be accepting whatever they put in here, right? Remember that at this point, we're having a pandemic of ignorance. Being ignorant is nothing bad. Usually, when you call someone ignorant, you're expecting him to get mad, right? When I get called ignorant, they're expecting me to get mad. And I'm just not, because that is not an insult. Why? Because ignorance has a
Mhm.
point of exit, which is knowledge, right? You just need to know, you have a little bit of knowledge to be prepared and then get out of that ignorance. The ignorance is just a momentary state of a momentary state. What is bad? What is an
Mhm.
insult to yourself? It's acknowledging that you are ignorant and do nothing to correct that. All right. That being said, prepare yourself for elections. Use Mexico as a lesson. See what you like that we have done. None. See what you don't like what we have done. Everything, right? And take your participation on the elections, right? This is worldwide importance. And going back to trading, I think this is it on why we're having a retracement. We're having a retracement because there is a famous 90 something, 97% accurate guy that has predicted the elections. And he has a system, right? Look for 2024 US election prediction. You're gonna see that guy, and everything is pointing out at that one that has shared that right now. The picture is right now on the on the comments. Is gonna be winning the election, which is a follow up and continuation of the current office proposals or the current same line of what we're having, right? So why then are we having that retracement? I believe, and this is an I believe, trust me, bro thing. It is that all right? we have been having a ton of spending. Not we. United States have been having a ton of spending, has been having a ton of support for wars, and have maybe looked other way around on security and their own citizens, healthcare, and also law enforcement. I think that is key. Remember back in the day when institutions were strong, when the country was unified, why was it supported? Family and values, all right? This is not me telling you what you need to support now. This is only a fact, all right? But if you have a strong family, once again, fact, if you have a strong family nucleus, you're gonna have a healthy and mental healthy kid that is gonna be able to see self-sustainable, that's gonna be able to take care of himself when he grows up, all right? And anxiety, bullying, so many other stuff. It's not that he's gonna be immune at, but he's gonna be much more resistant at, which is gonna be again circling back to his mental health. That being said, guys, I think what we're seeing it is the speculation of the market of who's gonna win. Here is my speculation. If Donald Trump wins, I think we're gonna have a big pump on crypto, pump and dump. If Kamala, or however her name is, wins, I think we're gonna have a dump and then a pump. All right. Nothing is 100% bad. Nothing is 100% good. All right. But other than that, that is my prediction based on what I'm seeing right now. Maybe I'm a bit wrong here, and we are reacting for job numbers on tomorrow. Usually, smart money moves first, and then we see the actual played out. Based on that, Alex, I would like to steer this a little bit on the next, I don't know, 15 minutes into a little bit of politics. What are your perspective based on what might be happening? Do you think that we're gonna have a further move down, bounce, break up? What do you see in this upcoming, I don't know, 15 to 20 days?
Uh, as a Canadian, I just hope that they don't tariff us too much, that they continue to protect us, and they buy our maple syrup. All jokes aside, uh, let's face it. If we look at history, what has happened every election? It's very, very obvious what has happened every election. It's that when the election happens, if we look at history every 4 years, we simply see that the stock market goes up. Very simply. Okay. If we just look at basic, even if it's 4 year cycles, it's kind of funny. It's almost as if Satoshi planned it to be during the election. Okay. It's almost as if it was so perfectly planned. Like if we go October 2024, and if we go to 2020, and we get our beautiful friend here, we all know Covidia here. But if we look at what happens after, right, in October 4 years ago, right? So the thing is, and then we go even another 4 years. It doesn't really matter how many 4 years, but this thing is up only, okay? Up only, up only, up only every 4 years. If we want to go back in history and look at, you know, look at even 2016, uh, in October would be right here, right? So look at that. It's very clear what happens. And why is this? This is policy. This is plans. This is promises. This is interest rate cuts, which typically comes during that time too. It's simply that they have made promises to create whatever tax incentives, cuts to this, child care services, whatever they want to, campaign for. They have to somewhat fulfill some of this stuff. So what happens every re-election is that they print money and they spend, they spend, and this has been happening ever since 2008. So yes, I think Donald Trump getting in will be more bullish because he is more crypto positive than our friend Kamala. But nonetheless, either way, they will be pumping our bags. Either way, right? Does Bitcoin get suppressed a little bit more with Kamala? Quite possibly. I think they're well aware that Gary Gensler needs to go, and they need to start bringing in some adoption for crypto. And any sort of retracement right now into election, right? Whenever you get wartime or election or uncertainty in any market, uncertainty normally is sideways and a little bit down. That's uncertainty. That's what happens. You go and back test any uncertainty, it's normally a downtrending consolidation, right? What have we had? Okay, so like hopium on Trump becoming president, pushing up all the way to all-time highs. And then what have we had the last 2 days, right? We've had consolidation and down, consolidation and down. Okay, so if anything, we got a beautiful October. Maybe they want to give back some of the gains for the monthly because the monthly is coming in today, which is very, very bullish. If we're going over to like a long-term chart here and we're looking at a monthly, I mean this thing is ripping, right? We shouldn't be too worried. All we know is that we are up at previous highs and we're looking for a continuation, right? Right now we haven't mitigated the high here. We're still looking to come up for this. So keeping very positive. Right? It's the first time since we made all-time highs in March that we have put in some higher lows and some higher highs. The first time. This has all been lower lows all the way down. So for us, right, whatever happens, whether Orange Man gets in or whether I don't know what to call her gets in, this is positive, right? And November are typically bullish as well, right? So the market doesn't like uncertainty, but the market definitely likes new policy, printing of money, uh, elections. It's all in history. If you look at it, you're looking for a breakout and continuation, right? I'm still bullish, very bullish actually on this. That's why I'm building a long position right now. And hopefully trying to catch that next leg up. I think when looking at this, I believe this is 5 waves. So this is going to be the next move. Something up in here, okay? And then probably a retest, right? Wherever our retest comes in, which would probably be here, yeah. And then a continuation. But we're all just we're either all here right now, right? Or we're all here, right? Whatever it is, I do believe this is coming. Okay? And this can happen if you blink. Okay? And that's 22%. 22% from here. That works out perfectly to my level at 85,000 that I am absolutely looking for at 85,000 for this breakout. So 85,000, here we come. When and how? They're going to try and wreck as many people on their way up, right? They're not going to make it easy for anyone. Can we get there? We'll have to wait and find out. If we start closing below, if this, then this, right? So if we start closing below 65,000, then we're going to have to reconvene, right? And look for all the areas and liquidity that we are targeting, which we do have all of these mapped out on our charts where we can be prepared if we get retracements, okay? But when looking at this, right, let's take a look at one of our most famous indicators, which is the dynamic reactor. Now, dynamic reactor, I mean, I got long here off the dynamic reactor. I made a lot of money on this trade here, right? It's going to be very, very helpful. So as it comes up here, it's still skinny. It's not big fat support like it was here, right? So you see the fatter the dynamic reactor gets, the more support it is. So as it's coming up here, this still tells me it wants to continue to climb. And as that climbs, we look for a bounce, right? Now we try to isolate that, maybe matching up. We go into like a 4 hour. Let's see what a 4 hour looks like. This is probably a little bit closer. Okay, and you can see this is all coming up. So as it proceeds to come up here, you can see it even on the 382 bounce here. Look how good that was. Okay, so right now looking for this continuation. Will we get it from here? We'll have to wait and find out. What I do know is that the market reacted negatively today, right? You can see the Nasdaq rolling over, you can see the S&P rolling over a little bit. Okay? So for us it's like buckle up, prepare, and hopefully we can take this as an opportunity and not so much whether he gets in or she gets in. Like I said, we just want them to buy our maple syrup and not charge us for all our lumber and our amazing agua because we have all the water.
Oh
How does
yes,
that sound?
that sounds fantastic. Trading tuition. What are your take on this upcoming elections and also the up next close future movements for Bitcoin?
Yeah, pretty much I agree with both of y'all. I do believe whoever wins. So if Trump wins, price will go up and then come down. But it's only because people are taking profit and then go up again. And then with Kamala, same thing. Everyone's going to freak out. They're gonna dump it and then they're going to buy in because it's a discount and then it's going to go up. In reference to the halving, and it's brilliantly planned, like how Alex O said, when the elections come around, then there's the run up. I mean, and it's, I'm sure when they did the halving and the cycles and everything like that, they had all that in play because they're going against the the fiat, the money. So I'm sure they had that all in plan to where it would, now looking at it now, historically, it's like the smartest move they could have made. Because can you imagine if the halving was done like a year or two after the presidential election, and then so every time like it would just dump. But the way they did it, it pumps. So it's, I mean, I love it. And then I also agree, Alex O, where we're gonna have a nice pump to where we do the all-time high. I think it's gonna go up a little bit higher, then come down to liquidate all the longs, then go up really fast and sharp to liquidate all the shorts, then come down again, liquidate all the longs, and then finally go up. But by doing so, you're gonna be doing the higher lows, and then eventually start going up, and then we'll never see 70,000 again. That's my thought.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you guys. I mean, I think it's pretty clear. I think it was important to touch on these points because of the FOMO and food that the election is going to bring up, right? And seeing these rapid movements again, I think people are gonna is gonna be going like, "Hey, we're dumping, dump it, right? Get out, run away," and then they're gonna be running away at the bottom, where they could be just bouncing up, and then when it's moving up for maybe a retest, well, then everybody's going to go buy it, buy it, buy it, and then they're going to be dropping it back on you. So do not be liquidated from someone else, right? Be prepared. I think we have done a clear picture of what we're expecting on right now, this week, until the elections to start preparing ourselves, right? I think we all, then this is funny because usually we have a little bit of a different perspective, but I think we all agree on retracement, support, enter, resistance, exit, right? Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Once the US elections are out of the way, I think that there's nothing else in a short term scenario to do uncertainty in the markets that prevents Bitcoin to start rushing up. Other than that, let's take a look at guys some Q and A, or if you guys have any outcomes that you want to share with us, so we can take a look and do a quick analysis. Please let us know in the side chat. So let me get started. In the meantime, trading tuition. Would you like to also? Do you have chance to pull up any charts that I will be looking or are looking at this point? Alex, also if you are looking at something, that'll be amazing.
Yeah, definitely. I'll pull up my BNB. I'll pull up that one.
Absolutely. So I
We
was
were
looking
looking.
at
BNB looks like a bounce level. Yeah.
yeah. I was looking at gold at this point. So everything is just dumping, even gold, right? So safe haven, well, possibly, but at this point, it is, I will say, maybe an opportunity coming its way. What I'm going to be looking at it is, as always, flip of the ribbon, right? We are still bullish. Why? Because we're above dynamic reactor, and because also we are above the zero line here. That usually makes us pretty much bullish, right? Let me clear this up once again at this point. And what I'm going to be looking at, it is anything that give me some support or resistance down here to see where am I going to be looking for maybe an entry. At this point, I have this support. So let's move into the next one. Well, we have a liquidity area right here. Oh, also I have something important, which is big disparity. All right. This means that, because also look at that, small volume, small disparity, and also an area for big reactions, and added to it a liquidity zone, I will be calling this area the bouncing area. But since we are on a big disparity area, which we usually do range, I think we're gonna be doing a little bit of a down range or something like that, liquidity swipe, and then back up. We could be forming a head and shoulders. All right, but remember, the head and shoulders is only confirmed once we're breaking and closing below the neckline. So other than just trying to foresee the future and what might be my plan of action, that's what I'm representing the head and shoulders, just to see if that plays out. But only when I see the neckline being broken, that's when I'm gonna be taking some actions. And that action will be shorting it all the way to this area right here to 2,660. Do I think this is gonna happen? Depends. It's too soon to tell. But first, we'll see. Let's see this ranging down and the V-shaped recovery. If that makes it, if that happens, then the next area is gonna be this area right down here, and the possible rejection. But so far, gold looking a little bit bearish, pretty bearish to be honest, but still on the macro levels bullish because we're above that dynamic reactor. Let me throw it back to you guys. Who wants to go first? Or I just drop it in, whoever is ready. It's not letting you share. Oh, let me let me give you something here.
So I think I'm sharing my chart now.
Yes, you are.
All right, cool. All right, so this is BNB. I actually got into it, I believe it was yesterday. Now, one of the things that I battle with, and I still battle with this today, is not waiting. Like, I know I should wait, but I don't want it to take off without me. But what I do is I will scale into the trade. So my thought process initially here, I'm already out of this. I end up going short, but my initial thought process here was Bitcoin was doing good. Who knows? Maybe it might, continue doing well for the next couple of days, especially with it being Halloween, today. So I actually entered it here as it was breaking out. Now, normally I'll enter this on a 4 hour. So let me go back to the daily. So on the daily, let me clean this up a little bit so it's not so messy. So on the daily, I saw this beautiful trend line. Price action was up here. This is my zone, and I said, okay, cool. More than likely it's going to break out of the zone, ascending triangle. Higher lows, kind of a zone-ish as far as the top. I said, more than likely it might break out because of what Bitcoin's doing as well. This is BNB, and this is on the daily time frame. Come up, come down. Now, one thing that I like doing, and sometimes the higher the risk, higher reward. What I like doing is I'll enter here, but if it ends up going against me, then I'll close out my trade. But I'm hoping to get a better entry. I know it should go up and of course retrace, and then I would add to my entry a little bit here and a little bit here. Now, what ended up happening, and I saw this last night, what ended up happening was it started coming down. Okay, no problem. More than likely bounce off of the 50 SMA, my red line. And sure enough, it did. It looked like it was. And then it broke below. So I closed 50% of my 50% entry. And then I'm like, okay, it's going to bounce off of the 200. This is my second chance. Well, actually my third, because here's my trend line. It broke through this, came here, bounced up. Awesome. Came over here, started coming down. As soon as it started coming down, past my 200 SMA, my yellow line, I canceled it. Right now, kind of doing a degen. I got like 72x leverage going short. So just because I know it's going to probably come down maybe to this area before maybe coming back up in here. But when I do this, this could either be like a regular spot trade or something low leverage, 2x, 5x, maybe 10. But so one of my biggest things that I battle with is just waiting. So let's say, for example, we're doing a, let's say here, like we're doing a long, and I see it breaking out here, and then I'll see it here. It's like, man, I want to enter long. I see it retracing a little bit and start coming up. It's like, all right, it broke this level. Let me enter my trade here, knowing that we could possibly retrace all the way here. But for me personally, the reason I do enter when it breaks this level is because who knows? Like it could go up more all the way up here before it retraces, before it goes up some more. And if I'm waiting, because that's been plenty of times where I've done that, where I've waited for a retracement and it happened like 40%, 30% higher to do a 20% retrace to go up. So that's my thought process on that. But right now I'm just waiting for this to break this, and then so I can enter along. But that's my thought process. Yeah, but my biggest thing is just that waiting for that retrace, because like I want to get in, and sometimes it'll just take off without you, and now you have to wait even longer for it to retrace. And it's like, man, if I get in now and if it goes against me, I just cancel it, close out my trade.
Right, guys. And please let me know, guys, if you agree with this trade intuition and Alex O. I'm about to give a non-financial advice. All right, non-financial advice. But to the alumni, if you're not feeling it for longing it, maybe stay out of leveraging or minimize it to a point that whatever you are planning to put in, you can distribute it in several entries. Like, I don't know, I would say 1x, and then when you feel like you're having that possibility, that strong support, well, then you move that 1x to 2x or 3x, and then you input a little bit more. Some sort of DCA, not DCA per se, because DCA does not include leverage. But I want to hear your opinion, guys, on that non-financial advice.
Yeah, for me,
I
I
like
always
that.
I always scale in. Like if I have a level that says 50% or my first entry, like I'll put 3 entries. I'll do, and it's just small amounts too. I'll put if I'm going long, I'll put in an entry, and then possibly because it may retrace a little bit or have some play, I'll have my lower entries there. But I didn't know you could change your leverage. I thought it was only one leverage and that was it. I didn't know that.
You can rise it, but then you
Is it just
cannot
for
take it
exchange,
back.
or can you do that?
I think any exchange will do that. I think so. Not 100% sure.
You
Bybit,
should
Bitget,
you should be able to do it on anything. A
yeah.
lot of people do that once they've taken profits so that they can go and trade on something else. So like if you've taken like 50% out of your trade, but you want to trade with like a full position size on something else, then you'll crank your leverage on the one that's open, and then you'll go and trade on the opposite one with higher leverage, right? That's the way of doing it. Just so you have more capital free.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, I'm along like did Littlefish says he waits for entry I want or I go spot. Like for me, I think everybody knows if they come to my live stream, I yell patience, 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 patience. And I'm a lot like I have to yell it because I'm a lot like trade intuition where I want to be in. And if the setup is there and I'm not 100% on it, I will buy it on spot. So for me, having I don't necessarily need like I bought yesterday. I bought Beam, so I gave a Beam trade setup yesterday. But for me, it was like I wasn't looking to leverage in on this. So like for me, I just bought on spot. Um, looking at this level here, so like the trade was given, but for me, it's like it's like it's one of those where it's like So like
Yes.
I know it's at a key level. I know we're looking to bounce off of here, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take it, but I'm not gonna trade it on futures, right? Did I just disappear? My camera?
Yeah,
Hello.
you're ghosting us.
That- That's a magic trick,
Yeah,
bro.
That is an
the ghost
I
effect
didn't
right
hit
amazing
there.
anything.
Halloween costume.
Happy Halloween, motherfuckers. Oh,
Oh,
I didn't mean to. I didn't do anything, man. I did all I did was share my stream. Maybe that's what did it. But yeah, so like I gave the setup and I just bought on spot, right? Like I think this is a valid setup. Uh, and if it doesn't bang, that's okay, right? Like for me, I have take profits, but you put if you're able to put an X amount of dollars on it, why risk it, right? If you're if you're bullish on, and that's it too, if you're bullish on the assets, the assets that you are trading, you can do this, right? Where it's a much safer play, right? I did it on Pepe the other day. And I made like, I don't need to put leverage on Pepe, man. Like, I'm sorry, but you don't. Like, I took along here up to here, and then I bought some here up to here. I mean, it
there's
was like buy
hey
a
Alex, sorry to
spot, sell
interrupt you.
spot,
Your
good
stream
to
is on
go.
pause,
Yeah.
so we cannot see it. Now we can see it. Sorry, you were showing.
And now we can see
Oh, and
you.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Look at that. The magic trick. I'm Houdini. But one thing I am looking at, what I wanted to share with you guys before I go, um, is Solana. Solana is at a very critical level, in my opinion, as well, where I would be looking for a potential bounce, okay, on like a swing trade here. So looking at Solana, you have this coming up in here. Very clear, like you can just protect yourself below the highs here, which are these highs here, right? You're coming into this area here. You got a beautiful trend line coming on up. I believe it's the 2 hour. Is it the 2 hour dynamic reactor? Anyways, this is looking like a good bounce area for Solana. There it is, the 2 hour dynamic reactor. And then you have you can wait. So the safer way to trade this, right, is you can ladder in, right? So you can get in a little position now. Or you can wait for this to break and retest for OC trade. Or you can wait till you have some sort of structure and then look to get long off of it as well. Targeting back up to 73.50 and then coming for those highs up here at $1.80. So that's something that was on my radar. I was going to share this with my community, so I'm going to share it with you guys first, and hopefully you can all get a bounce out of Solana here. But right now everything is pointing down, so it is a little bit risky to be trying to long, falling knives or whatever you want to call it. So I always advise, giving yourself a little bit more wiggle room, giving yourself a little less margin, and protecting your downside. That's definitely something I'll be doing. Okay. And that's enough out of
Absolutely.
me because I'm sick and my head is pounding.
Oh, absolutely, my friend. Get some rest. I'm gonna do one more analysis, which is mana, and looks like CRV. Trade tuition. Would you like to take a CRV?
Yeah, do that one.
Perfect.
CRV. Okay.
Yep. So let me get started here. I gave this call, I believe, 2 days ago. I was here with you, Alex. Remember, I was saying, hey, this is exactly what Alex is looking for, right? A sweep of the lows, grabbing those lows, a swing fail pattern here, and then after that, a higher high. So now we were talking about a trend within a trend. Let me give you the heads up on that one. This is the big range. Remember that guys? And then we were analyzing the trend, the downtrend within the big range, right? Which we were expecting a breakout retest. Look at that, beautiful. Wasn't exquisitely perfect, but I mean, look at that, right? Now, I was pointing at this area right here, this circle. Let me just Control C it so we can see it perfectly. Why? Because I was expecting a little bit of a faster draw back down. At this point, we are heading down to this alerting here, and I think we could be going to this area. So let me update this, right? Because I have not just jump in. Remember, I'm looking for the flip of the ribbon. I think the flip of the ribbon is going to happen at the bottom here. And I think we're going to be having another bounce somewhere around here. We go to the daily, which again, be patient, right? It seems like we have a lower high. But if we hold this trend line that we've been talking about, this one here, right? This one here, or even we do not fall below this one here, all right? we're going to be making a double bottom, or at least better yet, and let me do this for you guys, a bounce out of this trend line here. Let me change that color so it is much more evident. Here we go. And look at where we are at, right? Very close. Overshooting to the downside, it's a possibility, right? And that's what I'm looking to wait for, that flip of the ribbon, or at least closest to that flip of the ribbon. So 4 hours mana possible trade. I'm gonna be adjusting this one all the way down here and looking at previous highs. Or you know what? Previous highs will be somewhere around here. So at least 8%. I will be using a 10x, so 85%. And then looking at where we have a little bit more trouble breaking up, that will be somewhere around 145% on the best case scenario if you enter and exit perfectly. So guys, that's what I'm looking at on Mana. Hopefully you guys can catch it if it plays out. Remember, FOR and support. That will be for me. Dropping it out and throwing it back to you, Trade Intuition.
Awesome. Let me go ahead and share my screen real quick. All right, so this is CRV on the daily time frame. You can see that we're in this downtrend, and it's starting to level out, which is good. This is our main level, and let me make this a little bit larger too, so y'all can see my numbers. So this is our main level. Everything in here, it can go up or down. It really doesn't matter, but let's kind of just back out. Let me just look at this really quick. Okay, so there's nothing else down here. This might be the low. You know, nobody knows, but this might be the low. Our levels that we need to watch for is a break of this. If it breaks this, man, there's no telling where it can go. If it lets you do a fib retracement, but this is our area within, and it's not looking strong. Like, I'm trying to look for something bullish, and I don't see it. I was even trying to look for order blocks or anything, but here you can see here we have our high, our lower high, our lower high. Right now, price action is currently underneath the 50, well, or 200 for sure, and looks like it wants to go underneath the 50, but it might bounce right here. But for me personally, if I was going to look at this trade, I would wait for it to break this level, which would be right here, 0.2611. And this would definitely have to be a scale-in trade for me. What I mean by that is I would enter 50% here, and then my 50% once it breaks this, because this right here is my key level. So this is what I'm thinking. If it does come up, it might do this. Well, come down a little bit and then do this. This is what I'm thinking as far as this goes. If it does come down, like, it could come down to just to get this again. And so this is why I would definitely have to wait on this. And it's not like my BNB. My BNB was a much better possibility of it going. And then, of course, it might do this. And if it loses this, because this is a weak low or a targeted low, it could continue going down based off of just the structure on the 4-hour. But definitely, let me go ahead and see where this is at. Definitely, I would set an alert right here above this wick. And then once the alert goes off, the 4-hour candle must close above this 0.2611. If it closes above it, you can do, 50%, 25%, whatever you want to do. But this right here is going to be the main one. Now, if we go to all of the indicators, we can see on the 4-hour that we were overbought coming down. We'll need it to hopefully reset, whether it's going to be right in here about the 34-ish area or maybe even lower before it starts coming up. We are getting a buy. So let me go ahead and click on this so we can see the candle colors. Now for the 4-hour time frame, we are getting a strong buy here but then it met resistance, and now the colors are changing. So this, it might change to possibly a sell, which just coincides with this. It's adding to the confluence of this. Of course, we were up here, we're coming down, and just resetting. So this, like if you were to enter right now, you have a higher probability of it possibly either going sideways or maybe even lower. So again, have your alert, wait for your alert. Now this, as I mentioned earlier, my biggest thing is patience. But when I see something like this, I set my alert and I wait. I wait for my alerts to go off. Something like BNB, that one was already like, it's ready. Like it's going to go possibly, but of course it didn't. But that's my thought process on this one. Hopefully y'all like that.
Absolutely. We have a request here for Littlefish. How do you interpret when the oscillator is flipping up? Now it's much clear, Littlefish. Sorry for that. I did not understand at the very beginning. So it's flipping up, but money flow is going down. That is all right. If we're flipping up, but money flow is reducing, it is all right. Momentum is changing, but what is it going on? Remember, usually momentum is something between money flow times volume. So volume is increasing, but I mean overall volume is increasing, but fast we had a little bit outcome of money. That usually gets me a bounce up to keep dropping. Let me show you the case, or let me share if I can find a um, a little bit of an example there. So it's of a bounce, but not with strength. So basically, we're not gonna be making it back up. So flipping up, there we go. I think this is it. So we have flip of the ribbon, right? But money flow going down, right? We're in the red and we're still pointing down. So flip of the ribbon, there we go, right? We volume is coming on, but we're rushing out of money, so we're not gonna be making it above. So this is gonna be this is a fake bounce for a continuation or a bounce for a continuation, which gonna be a retest continuation. Um, let's see. Harshes. Can you please help me in detail explain of dynamic and oracle indicators? Absolutely. We're right now at the end of the class, but let me point you out. We already have a couple of videos. If you go to, give me just 1 second here. Uh, just 1 second. One sec. All right, perfect. If you go right here, am I sharing? Yes. If you go to our Discord here, and then you scroll down and look for important classes or tutorials, here's video tutorials. And then you see chart prime tutorials. That's where you have in detail how to use them all. If you want my explanation of how I use them in scrutiny detail, well then I invite you to take a look at additional content, important classes, and then watch video number 1 and video number 3. All right, this is always something that I got kind of like a push back when I show you this video. Everybody just says, you know what? This is an older version. All right. Let me tell you that it doesn't matter because the way or the logic of how things work is exactly the same. There are only one thing that changes, and let me show you very quickly, which is, give me 1 second. Let's just wait for it to load, which is your trend sensitivity and trend agility. Now, instead of changing the two of them, we have put them into one single thing. Let me show you. Instead of having it in two things, well, then we only have tuning. All right. Tuning, I suggest starting at 20 or 30 and then increasing it in 10 increments. The exact same thing that I explain in here. I right here explain that I suggest starting at 20 and start to increment in 10 increments, right? The same thing here. But now, instead of those two things, well, then you're gonna have one single thing to change. Another thing that changed, and I usually get kind of a call out for that, it is the smart money concepts. You're gonna be using the smart money concepts. The smart money concepts is not a standalone indicator anymore. It is now part of your Market Dynamics Pro that you will see smart money concepts. All right, those are the two things that you can. Is it's sufficient, right? Well, I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, but I don't know what's sufficient you're talking about. Please give me a little bit more context so I can understand. But after watching this video, I explained the logic behind everything so you can understand when on how you want to use it, right? Because let me give you an example. A gym weight, right? Its main purpose is to lift it and build a muscle, right? But it's just so heavy and flat that it makes for an amazing paperweight. So, however you want to use it, that's up to you. But here I suggest a couple of things on how I use it and best practices, right? And at the end of this video, I give you a step-by-step. Oh, by the way, this is one of the most important parts of the video, which is where I explain the logic behind the reversals. There are three kind of reversal scenarios that they usually played out fantastic, all right? And at the end of it all, I give you a 1, 2, 3 step base strategy that includes entering points, exiting points, how to trail your entry, where to put your stop loss, so on and so forth. And then once you have finished watching this video, you go to video number 3, watch it, and here is where I show you all of the new features where I explain that Market Dynamics has integrated one stuff and where to find all of the settings from the modern thing. Other than that, you can also read the documentation. Let me share that with you. So it is the Sharp Prime docs. Let me copy here for you, copy, and then send it here onto the message. Oh, and then you can click here, get started, and then you can go advanced or go to the next one. And for example, get starting, installing initialization guide, market oracle, feature overview, and then we have a segment video for every part of the indicator being spread out and well explained. Remember, we also have details video per section. So that will be everything that you will need to know. And then come to the classes for any questions that you may have. I bet you're gonna have a ton of questions. But once we are talking the same language, right? Now that you understand what things does and you have your base configuration, we can start updating you on how to be a little bit more profitable or make sense of what you're bidding in here. Another important tip before I wrap things up, it is make sure you layer out your indicators. Look at that. I only have 5 indicators on the screen. 5. But you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 titles. That is because, look at the first indicator is Market Oracle Pro. The second indicator is also Market Oracle Pro. But the difference is that I do not turn everything on at the same time. I just cannot read it. That's why I, for example, have one instance with certain configuration and then have another instance with another certain configuration. And I have the power to layer my indicators and start combinations that make sense for me, right? So I have, look at that, the agility that I can, for example, do symmetrical triangles with big number 1 resistance for breakout, target 1, target 2, take profits at retracement. You see how it makes sense? And then I can turn on and off things as I move on, right? For example, right now, maybe going to this support area, right? And so on and so forth. So having a clean chart is very important. Other than that, thanks LC and trade. I would need to another person perspective. Starting out. Thank you, Little Fish. All right. Other than that, let me wrap things up today and trade intuition. We like to say goodbyes for the alumni.
Yeah, I just want to thank you and just everybody who participates in this. Not only are we learning, but we're learning together, and it's a great place to be. Absolutely love it. Very proud to be a part of this. I just want to thank everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much for intuition. And also, guys, thank you so much for joining today's class. Remember to study, remember never panic. And also, guys, as always, see you guys tomorrow. Quick advice today, there's not going to be late class because I have a meeting. So, late class will be moved to the next day, which is going to be Friday. So, guys, see you tomorrow. If you need me, add me on the public channels. I'll be there for you. See ya.